Well, I see that the House voted to repeal Obamacare, uh, or health care, really, because that's what it was, affordable health care. Um, and so, like, I guess they want to call it Trump care. Um, but I think that we could see that the Republicans are not representing uh, really even the people that voted for them, because it would be in their best interest. I don't know. I think that we have to really investigate what's going on with Russia. We got to make sure that our voting system is not being hacked, even though they're saying it's not. Uh, but you have to, like, um, but with Trump's people, time and time being intertwined with Russia Bank, with Chinese banks getting loans, having a place in the Philippines, and this guy in the Philippines, and actually, I think the guy in North Korea has about the same mindset as Trump. The only thing different is I think that the North Korean guy is actually more educated, and that his people around him are more yes men than they have to think. So I think that's a disadvantage because he doesn't have anybody that can, you know, like that can contradict him, and that's also the thing with Trump. They're making it like it's a by that it's a like it's some type of game, a political game. And I hear that same mentality with police. Like that gives them like that mentality where you could take your soul out of the situation, or your common sense, or your humanity out of the situation to justify something that you do that really, if somebody else did it to you, would be evil. And like in Memphis here, the people have been so devastated. Like this area here, like I always thought it was funny. May she rest in peace. My cousin Irma G. Like she got with an African, and like the Africans came here. Like a lot of them, like from different places in Africa. I don't even know, it's a big continent. Don't get me lying about different areas, but I would say the majority was from Western Africa, Western and Southern type to type of Africa to Central. Going from West to Central, not so much East Coast. I don't think. But anyway, they brought them all in here like the height of AIDS epidemic. And I remember growing up, we had this person living in our building, and they were both from Africa. She was a white blonde, and he was uh, black and brunette. But anyway, a doctor, anyway, smart and everything. And they were saying how hard it is, for, if not impossible, for you to come to this continent. And, and because like a lot of people, they would have problems, but the policies wasn't even in their favor. And so, like, this area here has been devastated by, the cocaine and crack, and probably now heroin. Hell, I don't know. I'm out of the drug loop. Even though somebody did, like, I have to have a long talk with them. Like, they put like a big old 20 rock talking about, well, so and so just gave this to me to get rid of, to so and so, but so and so went and got their own from the person that gave me this, and I'm like, whatever, like, I was like, that's good. I'm like, yeah. Then I changed the subject to something different. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know there's plenty of crack and cocaine around. Plus, I don't know, as crazy as that nigga is. But anyway, uh, uh, I'm sure he didn't want to let it go. But anyway, because of the drug problem, and a lot of us, we know that's systemic to our culture, and we could all remember the Oliver trials where they were talking about the CIA bringing cocaine into the United States, right? Viva Colombia, I believe. I do believe. South Africa's another big continent for me. Look like Africa, right? Anyway, so so this area has been, and there's also an area that's been, Jim Crow. this is the only place where you can assassinate, like, where they were able to assassinate Martin Luther King. Because I have to say, because of Jim Crow, because of some of the ideas that people have, that's ingrained in them, uh, 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 now through their own people don't realize where they got these ideas from. That is sort of self-destructive. Because like I remember like the guys around here, they were like, "Oh yeah, I don't like to use the rubber. I don't like the way it feels." And one guy, he's up here, he's real sick, and the girl I used to date, you know, she was very like. She was like, she got hanged up in. I just call them crack hoes because like 90% of the time, if they didn't get on the crack and then get with and it's a combination, they get with a guy too that's on crack and just thinks, oh well, it's easy to send the woman out. Of course, it's easy to send somebody else out. You know, there's a few guys I know, they'll go out their damn self. But anyway, the woman can, he will. Modern day pimping is not pimping. Anyway, and some of them is just very abusive on the drug. It causes like some people to bring out more hostility that's already been because of the logic that they have about, oh well, we have to whoop our kids because the white man used to whoop us, or if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. I'm like, where do you see that at? It's in the Bible. Look it up. And I'm like, I have. I don't see that shit nowhere. Yeah, read it from page to page. Not that it's really meant that you can. They have changed it so much. It's like really hard, but still, it's not in there. You can look all through whatever. But um uh the so we already, I guess what I'm trying to get to, I'm getting a little lost there. What I'm trying to get to is that this area is already very sick. Not only with a drug problem, with HIV and other sexually transmitted problems, and a lot of it is the way they treat the women here too. It's just like this one guy. He was telling a granddaughter she wanted to help roof, right? And he goes, "No, girls don't roof. Girls don't roof." And I'm like, well, what? And his daughter was telling, her daughter, his granddaughter, that yeah, girls could do anything they want to. So I looked at him. I'm like, well, what choices are you going to be giving your granddaughter if she needs to make extra money? She can't go roofing if everybody else, is making a couple of bucks roofing. What choices are you giving her? Only boys do this. Only boys do that. What choices are you really giving your daughters? The only choice you got is to dance on a pole, shake your ass, uh, worry about having oral sex with somebody and getting throat cancer, maybe having anal sex and getting colon cancer, or having, old fashioned, hetero sex and getting every, right, what I'm saying? So, because the guys don't have to be responsible for their bodies, so well, anyway, the guy up the street, I guess he was telling somebody the woman, she had like, really, she was the one that was doing that. There was one person I was dating at that time, and it wasn't none. Well, she might have got around to him later after me, after I left, but like, opposed to her, she was prostituting for her habit, for a drug habit, and and they get a touch of the if they're around like such people that are so really evil and narcissistic, uh um especially more so on that drug, that they start picking up those habits. Anyway, may she rest in peace. Oh, he's sick now, and I couldn't figure out like what somebody was talking about, but you know um I never never ever with that person. But anyway, so we have and then we have people on dialysis from a lot of people that have it's not the from diabetes. They have all type of bad symptoms from diabetes that you get, you know, um, um, and a lot of it is sprung from a lack of immune system. And as long as like, as long as like, if like I know men like it, I know like some of the women right here they got breasts this big, and I know that when they were pregnant, their man was probably breastfeeding, you know, not the child, you know. So but it's a lack of really breastfeeding your kid, you know, going ahead and just probably, you know, carry from 9 months. I say breastfeed them for 9 months and don't even pump it. But you can in this society get up, you know, and do that. You know, you have to pump or something. But um, so because we don't have mother's milk, we lack immune system. And then two, because that men see as women as their property, you know, I could grab her pussy, you know, if you know she's friendly, some religious groups like Muslims. I'm just using them as an example, where like the boys would, you know, pretty much just do like rape groups, so gay in a sense, like down low gay, not like I'm being derogatory gay, but a lot of that is hidden homosexual tendencies, um, and they could be very narcissistic to the woman, you know, and so and so then you could have like unwanted pregnancies and stuff like that. All this is that. So right now, this neighborhood here, there's so many people have cancer on dialysis and literally sick, and I can't even tell you how many people. And that's another thing we don't. Well, we don't. Oh, I forgot the plate. We don't. Oh, I can turn it off. We don't like move around as much as we do naturally move around. You know. Like walking. Um. You know, it's not like we have to walk to do our chores or walk to um school or work or any of that. You know, if people like this one lady over here, she's trying to walk, and like I see her walking, she's stopping every few minutes. She got at least walk 20 minutes to get your blood going. You know, because like I know I slow down, but I know if I just go to this one store, it's a 20-minute walk. So and I done cut it down to 15. So you know I might take a longer way sometimes, but you know, to so I won't be cutting it down. But um, we don't do and the exercises helps with diabetes, and then our diet. We used to be a more diet of grains and fish, and eating meat. You know, you might sacrifice one of your critters once a year, but you use your uh, you know, like there was a lot of lamb, even your goats. Maybe you just want them to eat up the poison ivy, which would be nice to have a goat around here. But anyway, the whole way we lived and the whole way our diets changed really. Basically, like I think when like they started with the cereal, you know, and as soon as they get, you know what I'm saying, it's like, well, it's quicker in the morning. You can just pour them a bowl of, you know, open this box, pour it in, open up some milk and pour it in. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of people, you know, weren't drinking milk as they used to because milk had, you know, raw milk was killing people, and not having refrigerated and stuff like that. You know, so once they refrigerated, you know, I miss the government cheese. You know, I think that they did better. Anyway, so and it doesn't mean go to almond milk or you know buy somebody's breast milk because you don't know the health situation of the woman or you know we respond different to because of people's diets in different places. Well, you know, it doesn't mean it's healthy. It is healthier for the child and it's absolutely healthier for the female. But we have females also, they're not getting the health benefit that you would get from breastfeeding, as in, you know, your uterus shrinking back faster to its normal form, which, you know, you do want to heal quicker, you know. promise. Because like I mean, when you dilate so much out, you want it to spring back to where it belongs, um, and it helps you like lose the extra weight that you have on if you breastfeed. Depends on what your diet is. If you Because like I ate like probably I know I eat a lot more than a lot of people do, and I'm like they got me like for my height to be 133, I'm 145, so like I'm heavier than I should be, and I know I eat a lot more than I should, or I eat more often than most people do. I don't eat because like I don't eat as much as they do. I noticed that, you know, but I still like to have something about every 4 hours, and sometimes, I get carried away. Like if I buy pizza, I might get carried away and eat a bunch of pizza and still have some chicken later on. But anyway, but the, if they change the health care as it is, I could see people right here because like I just lost somebody on dialysis. They don't seem to be lasting more than 3 years on dialysis. Even with people, donating different organs, you have to have, these people in this poor area, they don't seem to be on the organ list. If they don't have immediate family that's willing, that's healthy. It's the key word, with our obesity problem, and then the biggest problem, especially with the Jim Crow type of mentality, is that it's really if you don't blame everybody for stuff that um like it's sort of weird. Like they like stuff that they could probably fix themselves. They look for other people, or like I'll call the police or somebody else to interfere and help them. Social worker or somebody they look for. Which I never found any help from those type of people. But if you do, it's very interesting. But like stuff they could do for themselves, they don't seem to do. Like sometimes I don't say, like I can do that better for myself. I can't remember the saying. Anyway, and the other thing is like I noticed is that there are a lot of blame, sort of like with the Trump and his Russian spies up in the White House are doing. Still trying to blame Obama. I don't know how long that's going to go on through their term. Um, it, or they blame themselves for something that was out of their control. Like if there was a child for their parents' actions, like of whooping them. That wasn't a child's choice. The child has no control of the parent's behavior. Or that double binding hypocrite saying that, like this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Which is not logical to a child's, thinking. So so the child gets older. So them being a victim, or somebody like say they raped them, or somebody beat them, or somebody shoots them, or they break up with somebody, like have a bad relationship. They're sitting there wondering like, what did I do? Like woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever that is. I don't do this. I mean, I look too much in them now, I guess. I don't know. But so that's like the sort of like, so when you have people that are trapped like that, you know, uh, um, you know, if black folks is used to people coming in and invading, every time you turn around, white people invaded their land, however you want to look at it. Um, every time we have a new immigrant group, they come and invade. Now, I think that right now, we have a coup going on with the Russians taking over. And I think this is like the final, like, straw on the camel's back that's going to break our Constitution. And we won't be able to recognize the United States anymore. And and I don't think that I think like in some cases like this white supremacist type of thinking that you hear from like the Republican side, especially the people that voted for them. Um, um, uh, and the skinheads and wannabe Ku Klux Klan people, which everybody thinks is just another branch of the Brotherhood of the Police. These different type of white supremacist groups. We think that is the main problem. All that is the main thing that is going to destroy. That's what makes us different is our Constitution, and that from the rest of the world. And right now, I think with Republicans, I think this is the beginning. With this health bill, is the beginning where it'll be really obvious that they're here to destroy, Mang, uh, uh, through the people that lobby, is paying for them, the big oil companies, and the other companies that are, that the Republicans are showing that they're representing, not the American people. I think through like them saying companies or people, and because there's something in the Constitution, but they twisted it to evil. I think that these companies, most of them are outside the United States. Like for example, the companies that Trump and his daughter Ivanka are from China. You could look at it, the stores were getting stuff in from China. So they don't want to hurt us too much because we're buying too much from them. Same thing they're talking about North Korea. Oh, they can't say not China. I could say, uh, I know it ain't gonna happen, but and I'm poor, so I could do it. I'm not buying shit. It's gonna be wow. But it's hard not to buy from China. Even if you go on Amazon, you can't just like, oh, let me see what's in Germany. I don't know. Maybe I can get a hold of a store just to be different in another country. So buy something. So, I don't know, but but we'll see. We'll see. You can see with their ideas with the like now the coal companies could just keep clear. They could just clear out mountains and throw all that toxic wasted water into our streams and our rivers. So we're seeing, and yeah, they got people that voted for Trump. That if you're racist and you're like, oh, we got to stick together to have this racist agenda, so we're gonna fuck the black people, and you're not recognizing that black people are part of if we are America too. So it's the only way the white supreme. It's the only way that the communists and Putin and other people that are our enemies can destroy us. It's by allowing us to destroy ourselves through our racist greed, hate, and Republicans playing some type of political game. And it's time, like really, games for kindergarten. Graduate from kindergarten. Let's go on to first grade. I know we can.